Back in the day, plugins were essential. If you didn't have plugins, you didn't have sounds, and if you didn't have any sounds, you had to pick up an instrument. But nowadays, you can get a placement on GarageBand if you want to. Creating loops is so much more than just VSTs now. So today, I'm going to show you guys how to make industry-ready loops with only one-shots and phrases. Before we start, be sure to leave a like and a comment if you guys enjoyed, and without further ado, let's get into it. So starting off, as you guys can see in the project, there's actually no plugins attached on the loop. These are all one-shots and these are all phrases. And even looking on my mixer track, I don't have anything besides some reverbs and EQs. And this is what the beat sounds like. So starting off, all these one-shots and phrases that I used in this beat is from this pack called Odyssey Sounds. The same guy also has a bunch of other sample packs with loops. I can't remember exactly what his name was, but I think his name on YouTube was B-Billing. I tried to hit him up on Instagram, but he's just kind of gone ghost recently. And in this Odyssey Sounds pack, there is a bunch of one-shots. There's up to 150 different accents. There's even like little sample chops he put together. There's just a lot of detail in this pack, and I can't believe it's free. So if you guys can get it on YouTube, like I said, I can't remember exactly where I found it. So I just started off with these keys and I didn't even add any effects on. And as you can hear with this sound, I only did the first chord leading into the second chord. And this is something I showed on my BNYX tutorial. And basically how he makes loops is he'll take one sound or one plugin and he'll lay down like the first chord and then take a different sound and a different plugin and lay down the second chord. And if you keep on doing this and you eventually, fill in the loop with some top lines with a different sound, you get this really, really unique sound that you can't really replicate at all. And plus it's just really fun to make. So moving on, I have the synth, and the first part is super subtle and I kind of bring it up a bit more in the second part. And something I did with this synth is after I laid down this pattern, I instantly heard basically this synth sound, but just like reverse sweeping into the next part. So an easy way to do this is literally just bringing in the sound from your channel rack to your playlist and going into the menu and doing a few tweaks with your pitch and with your timing, and then you'll have this. So then after that, we have a couple of like miscellaneous sounds that are just kind of like melodical texture sounds that I put in the background. I started off with this one. And then I also added this one and I just duplicated it. And something I do a lot with one-shots and phrases is I'll kind of manipulate it so that I can kind of have full control of the chord progression regardless. So what I did here is I pitched down the first note to get it on key. And then I copied over the second note for a second chord. I made it unique. And then I dropped it down 800 semitones. And then you have this. And then lastly, at the end of the bar leading into the drums, I had this little roll with the synth block one shot. And that is about it for the loop. On paper, it's super basic. It just sounds full and it has a lot of texture to it because I'm using these sounds. For some reason, I feel like these one-shot sounds that are already processed by other producers sound a bit more analog and warm compared to a VST sound, which is a bit more digital. So starting off, I added this perk loop from Simon Savita's Capital Drum Kit 4. And then I also just dragged in a couple of open hats. Next up, I have two different hi-hat patterns. One is kind of the main one and the other one is just like off hats. And as you can see, I played around a lot with the velocity of the hats. This is just the easiest way for me to create a bounce with nothing but a perk loop. So really take your time with hi-hat patterns. I feel like a lot of people just kind of speed run through them. They either drag in a MIDI or they just two-step it and go on with their lives. But if you really sit on a pattern and concentrate on making the bounce, it makes a huge difference. So after that, I added this tail snare and I layered that with the classic no lie snare. And next up I have the 808s, and I have two separate 808s for this beat, one being this Yeat 808 and the other one being this Back Outside Boys 808. And as you can see, in some instances, I actually layer these 808s on top of each other, which sounds crazy. I can already hear the mixing engineers going fucking nuts in the comment section. But if it sounds right and the mix is sounding good still, I can't see how it does any damage. Maybe on like crazy mastering speakers, you'll be able to pick it up, but for now, I'm not worrying. And then lastly, I added this kick, and as you can see, I only have like 4 notes on it. I kept it really basic because I have so much low end with these two 808s, but I don't want to overpower it with the kick as well. And then after that, I added on a Yeat acapella, like I always do with all my beats. Adding acapellas just help you like round out your beat more, because like I mentioned in my previous tutorial, as soon as you add vocals on a beat, more times than not, you're going to remove elements from the beat and it'll just keep your beat clean. And that is about it for the beat. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys realized today that you don't need a budget to make loops or beats. Like I said, there's 12-year-olds getting Nada wick placements on GarageBand, so I'm sure you'll be good with one-shots and phrases. You don't need Serum or Omnisphere. But once again, thank you so much for watching. Leave a like and a comment if you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one.